Hey guys, Braxton here. Okay, so this this video is going to be about when you first come out, and this will be a video to show your friends, family, and whatnot, so that they can understand. That makes sense. Just in case you guys are wondering, this is because I punched a punching bag bare knuckled. Broken knuckle, and all of these are just really bruised. So. Alright. To family members, and along with family members, friends, and the whatnot, you guys need to understand number one thing you need to understand is it took a lot of courage to come out. A lot of courage. They might have been out to themselves for a while. They might have known for a while. They just didn't know how to tell you. They didn't know how to approach you because they were terrified that you would disown them, or you would drop them as a friend, or they just wouldn't tell you because of those reasons. They were just scared, or they just didn't feel like it was the right time because they were still trying to understand themselves. So understand, it takes a lot of courage to come out. A lot. It is not easy in any way, shape, or form, and some people you might never come out to until you start your physical transition. It happens. If you're that person and you don't know how to handle it because all of a sudden your friend's changing, whether it be they're changing from a male to female, or they're changing from a female to male, it's going to be hard for you guys. I know, because I've seen it in my friends. A lot of my friends understood. They were understanding, and they were great about it. They've automatically switched to my chosen name and my pronouns. But sometimes it's not like that. So when you guys find out that your friend is an FTM or an MTF, don't automatically start asking questions, just stuff that makes it sound like you guys are ignorant type thing. I know you guys have no idea what it means or anything like that, but take it in for a second and say, okay, my friend just came out to me as transgender. What am I gonna do? How do I feel about it? And type thing. It's that moment that you can think on how you're feeling. But don't leave him hanging. Don't make it seem like you're an asshole type thing. Just think, okay, my friend just came out as transgender, or my sister or brother or my son or daughter just came out as transgender. What am I supposed to do? Now that you got that out of the way, hug them. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that it's going to be okay, and that, yeah, some of you might not support it, but tell them that you still love them. Just because they feel the way they do doesn't necessarily mean you don't love them. Remind them that you love them. You might not support it, but that doesn't matter at that time. They just need to know that you still love them. Okay. Now, next step. Now it's time to ask questions. Ask them what they feel comfortable talking about at that time. Some guys don't feel comfortable talking about their transition, their physical transition, because they're not ready to talk about it yet. So don't ask them. Just ask them, okay, how do you want to do this? Type thing. Some people, for me, it was, you can't use my chosen name or my chosen pronouns around my family. It's just for respect for them. Okay? So, ask them that. When do you want to be called by your chosen name and chosen pronouns? When would you prefer to keep it to your biological name and biological pronouns? You know, try and clarify things, because sometimes it's very awkward when you use the wrong name and wrong pronouns at the wrong time. I've experienced that. I am out at my work and I get people, like one of my coworkers, I ended up with the flu and ended up getting sick at work. And my coworker called to my mom and used Braxton. And my mom was about to like say, I don't have a son or daughter named Braxton. Like that's how bad it is with my mom. To be honest, like it's not pretty. And it's hard. So, parent, understand, just because you don't support it doesn't mean you can't be like, you can't respond type thing. Does that make sense? Like, if that doesn't make sense, don't act the way my mom did. If a friend or a coworker or whatever accidentally slips up and uses their chosen name, don't disown them and act as if like they don't exist. Get used to the fact that they're using their chosen name and chosen pronouns somewhere else if you're not using it at home. Be understanding. You might not use it, but understand they're using it somewhere else. And understand it's hard living a double life. Trust me. Around my family and around people in my neighborhood, I'm Belinda and she. When I'm at work and when I'm with my friends, I'm Braxton and he. It is hard living a double life, because I go to work and I go hang out with my friends and I hear Braxton and he. It makes me the happiest guy on planet Earth. But then I come home and it's hard, because that's all I hear. And sometimes when I'm spending days on end at home and I'm not going anywhere else, it gets really hard and I get really dysphoric. So you guys understand that when they start getting depressed and they've been home for a couple days and their family doesn't use their chosen name, that's probably why. Okay? Now that I've gotten over family, friends, you guys are the ones that will most likely support it. And I'm only saying that because it's our generation that seems to be more understanding. And you didn't grow up with them being opposite. You've only known them for a certain amount of time type thing. Okay. Start using their chosen name and their chosen pronouns and work your ass off to get at them right. 'Cause it hurts when you've heard them, when our friends have used the name and the pronouns like constantly, and then all of a sudden they slip up. I had that happen with my ex-girlfriend Tiffany. We'd been dating for 5 months, and she hung around my family a lot, but she'd never really slipped up. And then we weren't even around my family when it happened. Like, we weren't alone in my room or anything like that. We were at her house, so she used Braxton and he, and she slipped up, and it hurt. Like, it stung. And I was upset for a second, and she was upset about it and pissed. And I'm like, you know what? You have no right to be pissed. Like, pissed at me for my reaction type thing. Yeah, you can be angry at yourself for making that mistake and feel bad. But, like, if you're pissed at me, don't. Because it's hard. Because you're, like, every single time you hear that name, it's just like this sting. Like, that's not my name. That's not my pronoun. You know, that type of thing. It's hard. Okay? Alright, another thing. Apologize if you do mess up. Like, just do it. I'm trying to think of other situations that friends could be put in. Again, figure out when it's okay, not okay to use chosen pronouns and name. It gets super important. Ask questions. Like, seriously. Like, it of course depends on the guy or the girl. But ask questions. Like, if you guys are friends, most likely they will answer. Sometimes they don't know. They're not sure. All they know is that I'm transgender and I should be a different thing. And, like, I know some guys, they're not going to go through the physical transition. They're not going to start testosterone or get top surgery. They're just going to go the natural route, like take natural supplements and just work out and type thing, because that's all they want. For me personally, I want to get top surgery. I want to start testosterone, and eventually, if they can figure out how to make, like, I'm just gonna say, like, make her penis work with standing and peeing, feeling, and like being able to have sexual pleasure. Like, I'm so down for it. But until then, not gonna happen because it's just too much and too invasive. But ask him stuff like that. Ask him different definitions or different names, like ask him what they prefer to be referred to, maybe sexual orientation. I prefer trans male because I don't know why, I just hate the term straight male. If I'm stealth, like once I get my top surgery and I start testosterone and I'm stealth, then fine. But when I'm around the LGBT community and while I'm in the physical state I am, I would prefer to be referred to as a trans male. I do not like the term FTM, female to male, because it reminds me that I'm a female. So, trans male, transgender male, trans man, those are the only ones that I prefer when someone is explaining, explaining who I am type thing, because it can get, it sucks, because, like, for me, female to male reminds me that I'm a female. Trying to think of, like, any other questions that need to be answered. Yeah, so ask questions about physical, about labeling. If they don't want to be labeled, then don't label them. And just anything else like that. Okay, so if family members, friends, and whatnot have any other questions, please comment below your questions and I will get them answered straight away. But yeah, I will get those answered so you guys understand. And even if it's not family members or friends or anything that ask the question and you're just wondering, so you know how to talk to the friend or you know how to respond, I will do that as well. So family members, friends, and whatnot, if you have questions, I've been out to myself for 2 years. I've been out in public, like out to friends and that, for 2 years, and I've been making videos for almost 7 months. So, seriously, if you guys have any questions on the transition, emotional, mental, physical, any of it, like friends, family, and whatnot, feel free to have your son or daughter, sister, brother, friend, comment, or you can even comment below. But seriously, ask questions. I am totally there to answer any questions you guys have. So, hope you guys have an awesome weekend, or whatever day you're watching this. Have an awesome day. And I will check you guys later. Peace.